Plastic pollution is one of the most widespread problems affecting our planet today. Over 300 million tons of plastic are produced every year for use in a wide variety of applications, half of which is used to design single-use items such as shopping bags, cups, utensils, and straws. A whopping 91% of plastic isn't recycled. When plastic is dumped into landfills, it interacts with water and forms hazardous chemicals, as well as the direct effects on animals. Landfills are having an indirect effect on them too. The chemicals contaminate plants, soil, and waters, which are then consumed by animals lower in the food chain. This contamination at the very root of the animal hierarchy means that all species in the food chain could be affected. In 2018, landfills received 27 million tons of plastic, in addition to toxic substances being released into the soil when plastic bags perished under the sunlight. They release a toxic substance into the air, causing ambient air pollution. At least 8 million tons of plastic end up in our oceans every year. Floating plastic debris are currently the most abundant items of marine litter. Waste plastic makes up 80% of all marine debris, from surfaces, waters, to deep-sea sediments. Plastic has been detected on shorelines of every single continent. Perhaps the most visible and disturbing impacts of plastic pollution are the ingestion, suffocation, and entanglement of hundreds of species. Wildlife such as seabirds, whales, fishes, and turtles mistake plastic waste for prey, and most die of starvation as their stomachs are filled with plastic debris. They also suffer from lacerations, infections, reduced ability to swim, and internal injuries. When marine organisms ingest plastic debris, these contaminants enter the digestive system and over time accumulate in the food web. The transfer of contaminants between marine species and humans through consumption of seafood. Microplastics entering the human body can lead to an array of health impacts, which are linked to a host of negative health outcomes, including cancer and cardiovascular diseases. Our oceans and lands are being destroyed at a devastating rate. We need to act, and we need to act now, before it is too late, before the desolation is irreversible. Imagine a world where there was no plastic pollution. We wouldn't be polluting the earth with disposable coffee cups, water bottles, toothbrushes, PPE, and other plastic stuff. And 700 marine species wouldn't be affected by plastic debris. Imagine seeing a healthy planet instead of a polluted one. Both the government and individual citizens are equally responsible for pollution, but the government has a much greater impact than an individual does. The government can issue and uphold laws in regards to pollution standards for our environment. It all starts with government environmental laws. No one product will solve this global problem, and it won't happen overnight or without the support of every single human being. A good place to start would be explore the use of existing legally binding international agreements to address plastic pollution. Unity over this global issue. Recycling and reuse of plastic materials are the most effective actions available to reduce the environmental impact of open landfills and waters. Counties should be responsible for supplying sufficient litter and recycling bins that can be placed in cities and on beaches in coastal areas to accelerate the prevention and reduction of plastic pollution. Consequences and harsher sanctions must be implemented. Government-issued funds given to research institutions and industries who need to work collaboratively, redesigning products and finding alternatives to plastic. Knowledge of the full extent of plastic pollution and its impacts would provide policymakers, manufacturers, and consumers with scientific evidence needed to spearhead appropriate technology, behavioral, and policy solutions. Mandatory education on the matter to all companies, corporations, and persons. Sign executive orders issuing demands, making funds available, and incentives for recycle. The first thing society needs to do is lessen their carbon footprint. Instead of the plastic bottle, use a refillable one. Stop with a reusable bag. Stop using one. Time use plastic and pick up litter and plastic and dispose of it properly. By doing so, it will help our planet heal and revert it back to its original glory. It will improve the health of our planet, of all life, and the lives to come. I chose this topic because if we do not do something now, it may be too late. I want my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren to experience and see a beautiful world filled with life and an ocean filled with awe. Our planet is special because it's the only one we've got. We all must respect and love it.